in the lesson electric current, yesterday we have come up to the definitions of electric circuit and circuit diagram. After that, the examples are there on page number 38, example number 2, 4, 5, but that I am going to take afterwards. Now we are going to see the system of resistors and effective resistance. So what is a resistor? It is a two-ended component having given amount of resistance between its two ends. So a resistor is a two-ended component having a given amount of resistance. So yesterday we have seen the concept of resistance between its two ends. So resistance is nothing but it is a hindrance or the obstruction to the flow of electron. Whenever the conducting wire is connected to the cell or a battery, then the electrons start moving from negative terminal to positive, and their path is obstructed by the atoms and the ions in the path, and that hindrance is nothing but the resistance. So a resistor is a two-ended component having a given amount of resistance between its two ends. So in several electric devices, a number of resistors are connected together in different ways. So Ohm's law is applicable to all such a connected resistor. So yesterday we have seen Ohm's law, that is V upon I equal to R, that is potential difference upon current, is equal to resistance R in Ohm. So that ratio remains always constant. Now we are going to see when the resistors are connected in series, what will be the effective resistance or the resultant resistance, and after that we are going to see the effective resistance or resultant resistance when they are connected in parallel. So these two things we are going to see now. So here both these questions are very important. Out of them one must be asked, definitely asked, for 4 or 5 marks. Drawing diagram, describe how to calculate the effective resistance when the resistances are connected in series or when they are connected in parallel. So the diagram is also easy. Whenever the resistances are connected end to end, then they are said to be connected in the series. So they are connected in end to end, that is they are connected one after the other in a single line. Such a combination is known as resistances in series. Followed? Now in this arrangement, the first thing that is, you are going to remember that the current flowing through each resistance is same. That's why here we have connected the ammeter, and in the ammeter we are getting the current flowing through all these resistances R1, R2 and R3 are the three resistances we have shown, and now it is connected to the cell. Now remember one thing, that this positive end terminal of this cell should be connected to the positive terminal of the ammeter, and it should be connected to the positive terminal of the voltmeter. So while drawing the diagram, showing this positive negative terminal is very important. If you mark them in a reverse way, you won't get the mark. Another thing, that is whenever you are, now here they have shown the open key, so here not necessary to show the direction of current. Followed? But whenever you are having the closed key like this, then you have to show the direction of current like this. Followed? So it is from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So these two things you have to remember. As they have shown in the figure, the open key, and they have shown the direction of current in the upper direction here from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So that is a mistake. So here that closed key should be there. So they have used here the tap key. Instead of tap key you can have the plug key also. Followed? Now here R1, R2 and R3 are the three resistances. I is the current flowing through that, which is same, and V is the potential difference between C and D. Followed? So now as the current flowing through all these three resistances is same, we are not going to measure the current. We are getting directly the value of current in ampere in this ammeter, but we are going to connect voltmeter parallel to each resistor. First we are going to connect it to parallel to R1, then we will get V1. Then when you are going to disconnect it and then we are connecting parallel this potential voltmeter V parallel to R2, we will get the value of V2. Similarly, we are going to connect this voltmeter parallel to R3, then we are getting V3. So these are the three potential differences. We are getting V1, V2, V3, and this V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Followed? Now here we are going to apply the Ohm's law. Now V is equal to IR by Ohm's law. So here IRS means resultant resistance when they are connected in series. So here IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. So why I have used R1, R2, R3? Because here it is a potential difference through R1, potential difference through R2, and potential difference through R3. That's why V1, V2, V3 I have used R1, R2, R3. But I have not used I1, I2, I3 because here current passing through each R1, R2, R3 is remaining same, and that is I1. Followed? So now if I take I common here, then I will have R1 plus R2 plus R3. So I will get cancelled. So we will have RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Followed? So that is the expression that we are getting whenever we are having the resistances that are 3 in number, but whenever there are n resistors connected in series, then we will have RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus dot 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 Rn. So that is the expression derivation for the resistances connected in series, and for calculation of the resultant resistance we are going to use the formula Rs is equal to sum of the resistances. So what are the characteristics of the resistances when they are connected in series? First thing, that is, so this paragraph is very important, which is given in the blue rectangle. These are the characteristics of the resistances connected in series. So when they are connected in series, first thing, that is same current flows through each of them. Second one, the effective resistance is the sum of the resistances of the individual resistances. So Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Then third thing, that is the potential difference between the two extremes of the arrangement is equal to, so that is V is equal to, is the potential difference across CD. So that V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Followed? So that is the third point as a characteristic you have to remember, that is the potential difference between the two extremes of the arrangement is equal to sum of the potential differences across the individual resistors. Followed? Fourth one, the effective resistance is always larger than the individual resistance. And fifth one, this arrangement is used to increase the resistance in a circuit. Followed? So these are the 5 points you have to remember, but these are very easy. In the first, we are going to give the expression about I is equal to same current flows through this I. Then we are going to express V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 in sentence. Then Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 in sentence. Then these are the 3 points. And then effective resistance is always greater than individual, and therefore in the circuit, whenever we want to increase the resistance, we are going to use the resistors in series. Followed? Now whenever the resistors are connected in parallel, here the figure is drawn, whenever the resistors are connected in two common ends, followed, then they are said to be connected in parallel. So resistors are said to be connected in parallel when their ends are connected at both the sides. That means they have common end. That is the thing. So they have given R1, R2, R3 are the 3 resistors connected in parallel. Now here the first main difference between resistance in series and resistance in parallel is that when they are connected in series, what remains the same? I have told you, current remains the same, I remains the same, and that's why we have measured potential difference V1, V2, V3 whenever they are connected in series. But whenever they are connected in parallel, the potential difference remains the same, and potential difference is measured by voltmeter, and voltmeter is always connected in parallel, and that's why in the figure this parallelly connected voltmeter we are going to show in between these common points C and D. Followed? That is the first thing. Then another thing is, now as here the potential difference remains the same, Now what thing we are going to measure? Current. So that current measurement we are going to do with the help of ammeter. So how the ammeter is connected? It is always connected in series, and therefore here for R1 here ammeter is connected, R2 ammeter is connected, and R3 ammeter is connected. All these are connected in series, and now this A, which is a common current passing through all these three, is shown here in this ammeter. Followed? Every time the positive terminal of the cell is connected to the positive terminal of the ammeter and positive terminal of the voltmeter. So that connection you have to remember. Now here plug key is used, K, as here dot is drawn, that means here the circuit is completed. So the current passes from positive direction to the negative direction. So drawing this arrow is also very important thing in the figure. Followed? Now here as the potential difference V remains same, and as we are going to calculate the current, then I1 is the current flowing through R1, I2 is the current flowing through R2, and I3 is the current flowing through I3, and we are having I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Here we are having V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So here I2 plus I3. Lord. Now by again we are using Ohm's law. What is I? I is equal to V upon R1 plus V upon R2 plus V upon R3, and here V upon RP, where RP is the resultant resistance or equivalent resistance when the resistors are connected in parallel. Followed? Now here after taking V as common, then we will have 1 upon Rp is equal to V common 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So we will cancel. So what result we will have whenever the resistances are in parallel? We will have 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So this is the result we are getting as a formula whenever they are connected in parallel. Followed? So now in this, the important thing is here Rp is resultant resistance, Rp is greater than R1, therefore 1 upon Rp is greater than less than R1. So that you have to remember very well. So I will write that important point over here. So as here we are having in the parallel connection Rp greater than R1, so 1 upon Rp is less than 1 upon R1. Followed? So here the resultant resistance is less than the individual resistances. So suppose we are having Rp greater than R1, that is suppose Rp is 4 and R1 is 2, then 1 upon 4 will be less than 1 half. So that example you can remember. So suppose here in this Rp, that is resultant resistance in parallel, is greater than the individual resistances. Rp is greater than R1, but as in formula we are having the reciprocal of the total resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. Here we are going to take the reciprocal, that means 1 upon Rp will become less than 1 upon R1. So if we take the example of Rp as a 4 and R1 as 2, so Rp is greater than 2. But if we make 1 upon 4, that is 1/4 part, and here 1/2 part, so 1/4 part will be less than the 1/2 part. So that is how here we can have the individual reciprocal of resultant resistance is less than the reciprocal of the individual resistances. So here they have given at the bottom of the page number 41, even if any one of the several bulbs connected, so whenever we are having the connection, domestic connection, then we are going to have the connection in parallel, not in series, because whenever we are having connection in parallel, if any one of the appliance stops working, then here as the current flowing through them is not the same but potential difference is same, the remaining, that the instrument which will have the fault, that will stop working, while the remaining instruments they continue to work. But if in series they are connected, as in series the current flowing through all of them is same, one of the appliances stop working, the remaining also will not work. That means if your fridge is not working, the remaining the mixer, grinder or any remaining appliance will not work if they are connected in series, but if they are connected in parallel there will be no problem, and that's why we are going to have the connection in parallel in our domestic purposes. So even if any one of the several bulbs, suppose they have taken the example of bulbs, connected in parallel become non-functional because of some damage to its filament, the circuit does not break as the current flows through the other paths and rest bulbs they light up. So instead of another appliances, we have suppose having 4 or 5 bulbs and we are connecting them. If we connect them parallel, if one of the bulb, the filament breaks, that means it will not glow, then the circuit will not break, but the current flows through the other paths and the rest bulbs will be lighted up. Followed? So when several bulbs are connected in parallel, they emit the same amount of light as when they are connected individually in the circuit. But when they are connected in series, they emit less light than when connected individually. So if we have number of bulbs connected in series, the current increases, I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, that is here resistance increases and resistance is inversely proportional to current, and therefore as resistance increases totally current decreases, and therefore when we connect number of bulbs in series, the light we are getting will be less than whenever we are having a single bulb in the circuit. Followed? So they have again given on page number 42 top blue color rectangle the characteristics of resistances in parallel. So first thing, that is they have explained 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 in sentence, that is the inverse of the effective resistance, that is 1 upon Rp is equal to the sum of the inverses of the individual resistances. So you have to explain this in sentence. Second thing, the current flowing through the individual resistor is proportional to the inverse of its resistance. So I have just now told you that current is inversely proportional to the resistance. That is, more is the current, less is the resistance. Less is the current, more is the resistance. And the total current flowing through the circuit. So I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Followed? So current is inversely proportional to resistance and total current is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Third one, the potential difference across each is across the all resistor is same, that is V remaining same, that's why we have measured that once along CD. The effective resistance of the resistors connected in parallel, so this effective resistance, that is 1 upon Rp is less than 1 upon R1, 1 upon Rp is less than 1 upon R2, like that. Why it is happening I have explained over here. So the effective resistance of the resistors connected in parallel is less than the least resistance of the individual resistor. And fifth point, that is the arrangement is used to reduce the resistances in circuit. So if we have the comparison or distinguishing point of the resistance connected in series and resistances connected in parallel, 4 or 5 exactly opposite points we can have. First point, here current remains the same, here potential difference remains the same. Here effective resistance is the sum of the individual resistance. Here inverse of effective resistance is equal to sum of the inverses of the individual resistance. Then here it is used to increase the resistance of the circuit, it is used to decrease the resistance of the circuit or reduce the resistance of the circuit. Followed? So like that, here 4 or 5 points you can have as a distinguishing point. Now we are going to solve the sums which are given in the exercise, as well as I am going to take the solved sums, and in the next video I am going to take only the exercises question. So solve the following problems. Question number, now here which are the formulae that you are going to remember. So these formulae are, first I will write the formulae. So first formula we have seen, V is equal to W upon Q, then I equal to Q upon T, then R is equal to rho L upon A. I have given Q is the charge in coulomb, W is the work done in joule, T is the time in second, I is the current in ampere, V is the potential difference in volts, rho is specific resistivity. Then we are having V upon I equal to R, Ohm's law. Then we have seen R1 is equal to R2 plus R3 plus R3 dot dot dot. and 1 upon R1 Rs we will have 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 dot 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 followed. So these are the general formulae we are going to use for solving the problems. So first one, the resistance of 1 meter long nichrome wire is 6 ohm. If we reduce the length of wire 70 centimeter, what will be the resistance? So here suppose we are having L1 1 meter. So you remember all these formulae, take down them in your notebook. So we are having L1 1 meter, L2 is equal to 70 centimeter. So we have to convert that into meter, 0.7 meter. R1 they have given 6 ohms. So we are having R1 upon R2 is equal to L1 upon L2. So 6 upon R2 is equal to L1 is 1 upon L2 is 0.7. So R2 is equal to 0.7 into 6. So 4.2 ohms. So that is the answer for the first question. Second one, when two resistors are connected in series, their effective resistance is 80 ohms. So this sum is slightly different one, but they asked in your exam, so you have to solve this. So when two resistors are connected in series, their effective resistance is 80 ohms. So they have given you Rs is equal to 80 ohm. Then when they are connected in parallel, their effective resistance is 20 ohm. So Rp is equal to 20 ohm, that is given. What are the values of two resistances? So R1 question mark and R2 also question mark. So these are the questions followed. So here we are having Rs is equal to R1 plus R2. So we have 80 is equal to R1 plus R2, that is 1. Then we have 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So 1 upon 20 is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So if we have cross multiplication, R2 plus R1 upon R1 R2, so we will have 1 upon 20 is equal to R1 plus R2, we will put the value 80 upon R1 R2. So here from 1. Followed. So now we will put the values as 2 8s are 1600 is equal to R1 R2. So let it be 2. Followed. So now we are having R1 plus R2 is equal to 80. Therefore, suppose we have R2 is equal to 80 minus R1. So let it be 3. Followed. So from 2 and 3 we will have, from 2 and 3 we will put the value of 3 in 2. So 1600 is equal to R1 into R2, we will put the value 80 minus R1. What I have done, this 1600 is equal to R1 and I have put up the value of R2 as 80 minus R1. So that will become a quadratic type equation. So we will have R1 square minus 80 R1 plus 1600 is equal to 0. So if we have splitting of middle term in this, we can have 40 and 40 as factors. So R1 square minus 40 R1 minus 40 R1 plus 1600 is equal to 0. So R1 common, R1 minus 40 common, R1 minus 40 is equal to 0. So we will have R1 minus 40, again R1 minus 40 is equal to 0. Therefore R1 is equal to 40 ohm. Therefore R2 is equal to also 40 ohm. As R1 plus R2 we want 80. Followed. So as R1 plus R2 we want 80 and we have already find out R1 40 ohm, then R2 must be also 40 ohm. So that is slightly different sum. So you have to practice bit more. Followed? Now sum number C, if a charge of 420 coulomb, so they have given Q, charge has a symbol Q, 40 coulomb. Followed? Flows through the conductor wire in 5 minutes. So time is given 5 minutes. 5 minutes means it is 300 seconds. So what they have asked to find out? Current. So I equal to Q upon T. So I equal to 420 upon 300. So 1.4 ampere. Followed? So that is the third sum. Now we will see the solved examples also. So if we see the first solved example, it is given on page number 33. On page number 33, they have given the first solved example. So open page number 33, because solved examples are also important in this sum, in this chapter. So current of 0.4 ampere flows through the conductor for 5 minutes. How much charge would have passed through the conductor? So here again we are going to use the same formula, I equal to Q upon T. That is Q is equal to IT. They have asked to find out Q. They have given the current 0.4 ampere. I is given. Time is given 5 minutes. That means 300 again seconds. Same thing. So 0.4 into 300, that will give you 120 coulomb charge passing through the conductor. So that is the first sum, which is very easy. Then the second solved example they have given on page number 38. From them they have omitted, I think, the sum number first and third they have omitted. Why omitted I don't know, because B upon I, Ohm's law is there. They have given B and I, and R they have asked to calculate in the third example, and in the first example they have asked to calculate I. So why they have omitted I don't know. Then example number 2, the length of the conducting wire is 50 centimeter and its radius is 0.5 millimeter. So here, so example 1 and example 3 are very easy. They are based on the formula V upon I equal to R. There are 3 quantities, V, I and R. Out of them, these 3, they give you 2 and they ask to find out the 1. That is the method in first and third. Now in second example, they have given the length of wire 50 centimeter. That means we are going to convert it into meters. That is 50 upon 100 meter. So that 50 upon 100 they have written like this. 50 into 10 raised to minus 2. Followed? So they have written here like this, because 100 means 50 upon 10 raised to 2, that is written 50 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Followed? Then radius is given 0.5 millimeter. That means it should be 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, because 10 millimeter make 1 centimeter and 100 centimeter make 1 meter. So 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, that will give you the radius in meter. So they have converted that again into 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Resistance is 30 ohm. We are going to find out resistivity by the formula rho equal to RA upon L. Followed? Which is the same formula which we have, R is equal to rho L upon A. So RA upon L will give you rho, same formula. Followed? So now here, from where this pi r square has come, because whenever we are considering the metallic conductor, which is a wire, we are going to consider its cross-sectional area, and if you take the cross-section of the metallic wire, then it will become a circular, and therefore for area, we are not going to use the formula for cylinder, but we are going to use the formula for circle, and that's why they have used here pi r square. So R into pi r square upon L is equal to rho. That is how they have used. Now after putting the values and doing the calculation, they got the resistivity of wire as 4.71 into 10 raised to minus 5 ohm meter. You can calculate up to 47.1 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. Followed? So that is how they have used the formula. Determine the current that will flow when the potential difference of 33 volt is applied between two ends. So V is given 33 volt, R is given 110 ohm. So first we are going to calculate I by Ohm's law, I equal to V upon R. So current flowing through the appliance is 0.3 amperes. Followed? Now if the same current, that is same 0.3 ampere current is flowing through an appliance having resistance 500 ohm. So now resistance we are going to take R 500 ohm, and again we are using the Ohm's law, V equal to IR. We are getting V is equal to 150 volts. Followed? So this sum is totally based on Ohm's law, V equal to IR. First calculate I and then calculate V using same I. Determine the resistance of copper wire having length 1 kilometer and diameter 0.5 millimeter. So resistivity of copper they have given 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. So length of wire 1 kilometer, that is 1000 meter, 10 raised to 3 meter. Diameter is 0.5 millimeter, that is 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Followed? That means radius means we are going to divide by 2. R is the radius of wire, then the area of cross section A equal to pi r square. So A is equal to pi into d by 2 r square. So here pi by 4 into d square they have made. So total calculation they have done 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. Followed? Now here R is equal to rho into L upon A. So value of rho they have given 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Then we have calculated A 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. Here area is separately calculated. So you can do these calculations separately. And here L is given 1 kilometer, that is 10 raised to 3 meter. That's why they have substituted the values of rho, L and A and calculate the resistivity as 85 ohm. Followed? So that is how these are the sums based on this formula. Now R is 3 resistors is having resistance 15 ohm, 3 ohm, R 4 ohm connected in series. That means we are going to add up only 15 plus 3 18, 18 plus 4 22 ohm will be the resistances in series equivalent resistances. Then example number 2, two resistors having resistance 14 ohm and 16 ohm are connected in series. So their total resistance RS will be 14 plus 16, that is 30 ohms. Alright. So R1 they have given 14 ohms, R2 they have given 16 ohms. So what will be RS as they are connected in series? 14 plus 16, that is 30 ohms. Alright. That we are going to calculate first. Then they have given connected in series, then potential difference they have given 18 volts. So again we are going to use the formula for the ohm, by the Ohm's law we are going to calculate V is equal to IR. So V is equal to V1 plus V2, that is 18 ohm that volts is given